First and foremost, all praises are due to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Mekak. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us his truth. Salutations to the brothers around the four corners of the earth who are teaching this word in truth and sincerity. And shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel who listen and believe in this word. This is Brother Kawat Saabad coming at you with another lesson. This one is entitled, Fringes Are Not Meant to Be a Fashion Statement. And we know fringes are worn, particularly on the long garments of the brothers that are doing this work in truth and sincerity, particularly on the highways and byways. They are worn on the long garments at the end with the border of blue, and then the fringes are underneath that. But they are not meant to be a fashion statement. Let's get a definition of the word fringes. So I have here a definition of the word fringes: a decorative border of hanging threads left loose or formed into tassels or twists used to edge clothing or material. And of course, it's on the outside. You've heard the term, he's a bit on the fringe, on the outside. So that's sort of a term that people use, or he likes to hang on the fringes of society, just as an example. So fringes on your clothing are on the outside of your clothing, you see. But they are not meant to be a fashion statement like many of us known as Hebrew Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Many Hebrew Israelites are, wearing fringes on T-shirts, hoodies, shorts. There was even I seen a picture of somebody had fringes on a dog garment for their dog, you see. So they're not meant to be a fashion statement, all right? They are meant to mainly be put on the long robes, which we as a people wore in the time of Moses, of course, in the Old Testament, and during the times of Yahushua, all right? Many of us now, the hopeful elect, we've been awakened to this truth, born again, and we've been brought back to our heritage and culture as a Hebrew Israelite. So we become aware of what the fringes are for, you see. They are not meant to make, T-shirts, all right, with fringes so you can make money and make merchandise of the gospel. As you know, Yahushua came into the temple. He got a long cord. He started whipping people that were selling oxen and lamb and various things inside the temple. He's a very austere man, Yahushua is. And so he didn't take kindly to them selling merchandise in the temple of, his father, the Most High Yahweh, our father as well. So these fringes are not meant to be a fashion statement. You have many of these groups where there are members like IUIC, Sakari, just to name a few, and there's a few other groups that are wearing T-shirts on the highways and byways and preaching the gospel. And as we know, Yahushua didn't have a T-shirt. Paul and the apostles weren't wearing T-shirts. The prophets weren't wearing T-shirts in the Bible. They were wearing long garments. But like I said, there's a purpose to the fringes. They're not just to be worn as a fashion statement like, oh, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. I wear these fringes. I got fringes on everything. It's not what they were for. So let's get into what the fringes really were meant and give you the backstory through the scriptures. So we have here Numbers chapter 15 and verse 32. And it reads, "And while the children of Israel were in the wilderness, they found a man that gathered sticks upon the Sabbath day." So this is talking about the children of Israel who escaped out of Egypt, out of captivity, led out by Moses, that were in the wilderness, you see. And of course, Moses gave us the law, statutes, and the commandments that were given to him by Yahweh the Most High, in which we were to follow. And one of them, the most important ones, one of the most important things to follow was the Sabbath day, all right? And you were not to do any work during the Sabbath. Okay. But while they were out in the wilderness, okay, they found a man that was gathering sticks on the Sabbath. So he was working. Verse 33. And they that found him gathering sticks brought him unto Moses and Aaron and unto all the congregation. So they found the man gathering sticks. They brought him unto Moses and Aaron and the congregation of the Hebrew Israelites. Verse 34. And they put him in ward, which is custody, because it was not declared what should be done to him. So he was put in custody for gathering sticks on the Sabbath until they could decide what was to be done with him. And this was the Lord's response, the Lord Yahweh. Verse 35, and the Lord said unto Moses, the man shall be surely put to death. All the congregation shall stone him with stones without the camp. So this man was going to be put to death per orders of Yahweh the Most High. So it just shows you how serious these laws, statutes, and the commandments were during this time of Moses. And, you know, why we had to have the grace of Yahweh Shai dying for us, because there's no way being in captivity to Esau, okay, the so-called white man, the devil, our adversary, no way being in captivity can we keep every law, statute, and commandment. 613 laws, statutes, and commandments. It's impossible to keep them. But Yahweh Shai, being the perfect Lamb, was able to keep each and every one in order to bring us grace and to forgive us for our sins for going off in the Old Testament into the New Testament. Even though Yahweh sent prophet after prophet to steer us back to following his laws, statutes, and commandments, we kept committing iniquity upon iniquity. So Yahweh Shai had to sacrifice himself as the lamb to give us grace to bring us back into reconciliation with the Father, the Most High Yahweh. You see? So there's no way we can keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. So Yahweh Shai had to die for us to have an opportunity. You know, we were saved, redeemed, bought back through his sacrifice, but to give us an opportunity, the 1/3 elect of the Hebrew Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, the 1/3 elect on this side, the remnant, to be saved. This is giving us an opportunity to be saved and to get the victory over death and to be saved out of the destruction of Babylon, America, which is going to be coming upon us very soon and very soon. The 2/3 of our people that don't hearken to this word, they're going to be destroyed on the day of the Lord or before that time. They'll be brought back as babies, as children of the 1/3 elect in the kingdom. So let's read this again. Numbers chapter 15 and verse 35. And the Lord said unto Moses, the man shall be surely put to death. All the congregation shall stone him with stones without the camp. So you got stoned for violating certain laws, statutes, and commandments. So verse 36, and all the congregation brought him without the camp and stoned him with stones. And he died as the Lord commanded Moses. So they took him outside the camp and they stoned him to death, just as the Lord commanded them to do. So let's continue so we can get into the real meaning of what the fringes are about. Numbers 15 and verse 37. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue. So that's what I showed you here in the beginning here. Let's get that real quick and go back. So this is the ribbon of blue, and then the fringes underneath the ribbon of blue, the cord of blue, you see? So those are the fringes. That's what Moses commanded for us to wear after this man was stoned to death. All right? So let's go back real quick here. Let's read this again, Numbers 15 and verse 38. And it reads, speak unto the children of Israel and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments, the outside, throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue. Now, we've been brought back to the knowledge of ourselves as Hebrew Israelites circa 1969 through Abba Bivens, and he taught men, and they taught men. All right? So we've come back into the knowledge of the fringes. All right? Verse 39. And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them, and that ye seek not after your own heart and your own eyes, after which ye used to go a whoring. You see? So mainly, he told Moses for the Hebrew Israelites, to put these fringes on with a border of blue to remind them to follow the law, statutes, and the commandments. Because if this man who was picking up sticks on the Sabbath had looked down to pick up the sticks, he would have possibly have seen the fringes on his garment, his robe, and said, oh, you know what? I can't do no work on the Sabbath. So he would have pulled back up. So instead of him picking up those sticks, he would have seen the fringes as a reminder of the law, statutes, and the commandments. And he would have said, oh, you know what? I can't pick up these sticks because it's the Sabbath. So the fringes are a reminder for you to do the law, statutes, and the commandments to the best of your ability. Now, we've been given grace through the sacrifice of Yahushua, but you are still to not pile iniquity upon iniquity. You are still to rehearse the righteous acts, particularly the commandment of loving your neighbor as thyself, because that's the whole of the law. That's going to keep you from committing adultery, sleeping with your neighbor's wife. It's going to stop you from stealing, you see, from your neighbor. It's going to stop you from murdering your neighbor, your fellow Hebrew Israelite. It's going to stop you from doing a lot of things, you see, loving your neighbor as thyself. And then the royal commandment is love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, thy mind, thy soul. So if you do that, you're going to fear him. You're going to do your best to rehearse the righteous acts, to walk in the spirit, so to speak. So the fringes are not meant to be a fashion statement, all right? That's not what they're for. They're to remind you to follow the commandments of the Lord to the best of your ability. Let's read Numbers 15 and verse 39 in NLT. When you see the tassels, you will remember and obey all the commands of the Lord instead of following your own desires and defiling yourselves as you are prone to do. So he knew we were going to go off either way. He said, this is the NLT, but, as you are prone to do, which we were prone to do. That's why Yahushua had to be the sacrifice to bring us back into reconciliation with the Father Yahweh, to begin that process. Numbers 15, and let's read verse 40. Let's read Numbers 15, verse 40, the NLT. The tassels will help you remember that you must obey all my commands and be holy to your God, your Lord, Yahweh the Most High. So they are a reminder to obey the commands, to fear the Lord, all right? To be holy unto Yahweh the Most High. So on that note, I hope this lesson was edifying to you, and I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Shalom.